Hello and welcome back to Vegas Aces AMA live stream. I am your host, Heather Ferris, and today I am here answering your questions. So if you have any questions on how to play or how to deal any casino table game, let me know. I am here for you. I will answer it for you. Also too, this is a perfect time to go over if you're having any shuffling problems, if you're having any pitching problems, or if you're having any problems cutting checks. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the comments and I will answer it for you. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind you to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you're always notified of our latest videos and live streams. Okay, so let's see who we got in here. Hey Dane, hey Mini Sticks, how you guys doing? Good to see you. Thank you for joining. Let me know if you guys have any questions. While we're waiting for people to get in here, I'm gonna do my normal spiel that I always do. Remember to tip your dealer. Super Chat is a way YouTube allows you to show your appreciation by tipping me any amount you want. Go ahead, give it a try, or show your support by becoming a member of our Patreon page. We have several different levels and rewards for you to choose from. Any membership level counts, even $1, so please go join today. Sweet! And then, of course, the normal BS of selling merchandise. We got shirts and other merchandise. Dice! Merchandise dice. I just realized that. I gotta come up with something. I gotta do something with that. Merchandise, these dice. Anyway, we've had enough of that. So let me know if you have any questions and let's get to this. Let's see. Blackjack Con, we are not doing a tournament, we are doing an AMA, but Blackjack Con is our local troll, so it is always interesting to see what he has to say. Mr. Chad, good to see you. How are you doing today? Hey Mills, how are you? Good to see you. Rocky, what's up, Rocky? Now, let me know if you guys have any questions at all. So, Dane has a question. Have any riots caused any casinos from reopening? From what I know, I have not heard of any casinos not reopening as they planned on to reopen. All the casinos that planned on reopening today have reopened as scheduled, and I guess from what I take it from the news, we had a lot of crowds and everything come to the casino. It was just completely jam-packed. I guess a lot of people were jonesing for some gambling, so we had full casinos. Now, casinos here in Las Vegas, they are at half staff or half capacity, 50% capacity. Half of the tables are open, half of the slot machines are open, and then if you do go on a table, there are only 3 seats available instead of the normal 5 or 6 seats available. So there's a lot of different... Actually, there's just a lot of different stuff, period, with what's going on. When people are going to a casino, their temperatures are checked to make sure they don't have 100 degrees or higher. If they do have 100 degrees or higher, because hey, it's like 109 out there right now. It's Las Vegas, right? We're in a desert. What they're doing is if your temperature is over 100 degrees, they'll take you to a secondary area and they'll wait like 10 minutes or 20 minutes or something like that to let you cool down after walking outside for so long. And then they'll take your temperature again. And if it's still over 100, then they won't let you in the casino. Another thing that they're doing is they're supplying all of the customers with masks. So dealers wear masks, players wear masks. Of course, every casino is different, so this doesn't apply to all casinos. Let's see. There's a lot of different stuff going on. So yeah, that's what I know so far, and that is what is going on. And yes, we have had protests for the last 5 days, 6 days, something like that, and I think they're going to protest again tonight down. It's usually either downtown near Fremont Street where they're protesting, or they're protesting on the Las Vegas Strip. It's somewhere, it's either one of those two areas. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. I am here for you. If you want to, if you have any questions about shuffling, about pitching, cutting checks, about any of the games, please let me know. This is the perfect time to ask. So let's see what you guys are saying in here. Hey Joey, good to see ya. And Mills asks, has anyone been to a casino yet? So if you have been to a casino that just opened, go ahead and put it in the chat. Let us know your experience. Love to hear from you. And it doesn't matter if you're not in Vegas, Mr. Chad. Even if you're not in Vegas, tell us how your experience was. So Braden says, do I use StreamYard? Yeah, when we do the, not for the tournament. So this right here, what we're doing right here with the AMA and what we normally do with like blackjack tournaments and whatnot, what I'm using is an application called STREAMLABS, STREAM Labs, Labs, all one word. And it allows me to have the multiple cameras and, you know, a different like microphone and everything and the whole setup. But my computer's like all the way over there. So when I'm doing a casino party, or when I'm doing an interview with the Wizard of Odds and we're doing something like that, then I'm using StreamYard. So you'll see the like Las Vegas logo up in the corner, the blue and the green, and then usually like 2 boxes. That's when I'm using StreamYards. So I hope that answers your question, Braden. So Andrew, that was my question. How is it going to be accurate temperature taken? Well, I hope I answered your question, Andrew. Mill says not open till Tuesday here in PA. Yeah, it's different everywhere, and everyone is handling this differently too. A lot of people are using the same policies and procedures that were set into place by the WIN. The WIN is like the constitution of what people are using as far as like how they should proceed, but everyone's doing everything differently. So Mr. Chad says, just as you said, but they don't require a mask. So everything that I just said, but they don't require a mask in PA. Okay. Good to know. So Blackjack Khan says, when is Rhode Island Twin River Casino going to be open? If anybody has that information, go ahead and put it in the chat. I do not know. But if you know, go ahead and put it in chat or comments. DA Phillies Ace. Heather, how are you? I will be going to Vegas. Okay, so do me a favor and rephrase that question. Because I'm not exactly sure what you're asking. Dane says the local casinos in Canada, BC, are probably the last thing they're going to open, and the borders won't be opening until June 21st, maybe later. Yeah, I saw that thing with Trudeau. That was pretty interesting what happened. I don't know if you saw that, Dane. That was interesting. Mr. Chad, only blackjack on the tables. Every other machine is locked out and limited hours on gaming. Yeah, still here in Las Vegas, we're doing 24 hours. So they opened last night at midnight, and well, some of them opened up this morning to guests, but I think like they had people there just getting everything ready. But it's going to be open 24 hours now, here in Las Vegas at least. Okay, Joey, question. I find it difficult to push the card out with my thumb when getting it ready to pitch. Do you have any? Awesome. Okay, cool. So let's talk about this. So I've had a couple people have the same exact problem. So I don't think it's the reason why what you're saying it is. I think because I've had other people ask me this question too. So I think it's just one of those things that people have a problem with. Let's say you are pitching. You want to hold the deck like normal. So when you're holding the deck, take your hand out like so, and you're going to place the deck right here. Do you see this line right here? Now, if you know anything about palmistry, this is your love line, this is your lifeline. Okay, I swear I won't go into that. Anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to place the corner of the deck right there on that line, and then you're going to hold it like so. So bend your finger, this part of your finger right here, over the cards, and put it right up into that corner right there in your hand, and hold it like so. This is how you're supposed to be holding the deck. So when you're holding the deck, this is how you're holding the deck. Now, sort of going off topic, when you're holding the deck, hold it slightly away from your body and hold it at a upward angle. So this way the players can't see what your card is coming out. So if you're holding it too low facing down, they could see what the next card is. If you're holding it too high like so, you could flash the player the next card. Not good to do. So you want to hold it belly height like so, slightly angled up and out. Now when you're going and getting ready to pitch, when you're doing the delivery for the pitch, you're using your thumb to push out the corner of the card. All you need is the corner. Now, I have had people try to pitch where they're holding, like, say, the middle portion of the card, or like right here, and they're trying to like go in. You don't have to do that. When you're holding the cards and you're getting ready to pitch, the only thing you need to hold is this little corner, this top little corner right here. So, on that note, when you're pushing out the cards, all you really need to do when you're pushing out the card is push out the top corner. You don't have to push out the whole card, you just have to push out the top corner. And you're pushing up and out, so up and out. Now, look at my hand. If you can see it with this camera right here, I'm holding the deck, so I got the deck in my hand like so, I'm holding it. I'm putting my thumb on the deck, and I'm just pushing slightly, just like so. And when I'm grabbing it, I'm just grabbing that top corner. And then I pitch. So again, push it out, hold the top corner, and pitch. Just like so. And all you're doing is you're just holding that top corner right there. So push it out, you're just grabbing the top corner, and pitch. Push it out, top corner, pitch. Just like that. And all you need is just a very slight movement. You don't need anything too much at all. You just need a very, very slight movement, like so. Hold the top corner and pitch. So I hope that helps. Up, out. And I hope you could see it okay in this camera. I'm trying to make it so you could see it okay in that camera. Now, if you're looking at this right here, this is how it would look. So all you need to do is just grab that top corner and pitch. And you're just pushing it out very, very slightly. You're not pushing it out much at all. So I hope that helps answer your question. Let me know if it doesn't. Let me know if you have any other questions. And I hope you guys don't have any questions where I need a full deck of cards. Okay, so let's see what else you guys are saying in the chat real quick. Oh, sweet, I got a super chat. Thank you very much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. DA Phillies, Heather, love your streams, and I was just saying you will be out there in Vegas the 4th of July weekend. Hope to see you in the casinos. Oh, gotcha. Awesome. Sorry about that. Thank you. I know sometimes like I meet up with my people, so sometimes like I thought that's what you were talking about, like I had scheduled a meetup with you, and I'm like, I don't remember scheduling a meetup with anyone. But thank you very much. Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate that. Now, as far as meeting people, since I brought that up, I am going to be staying inside quarantined until we get a vaccine, so probably a year or more, depending on how it goes and what happens. So unfortunately, I'm not going to be meeting with my Vegas Aces people during that time. I'm staying in, I'm staying away from people. Reason why, I have autoimmune disorders, like a list of them, so I got to be careful. But if you guys do want to meet, I am trying to do more live streams where I incorporate you guys in there, so that way you can be a part of this. For example, next Monday, we are doing a live stream on Jeopardy. So if you want to be a Jeopardy contestant on my next live stream on Monday the 8th, let me know in the chat and you might be in there. I might pick you. But let me know if you want to do it. You need a camera, you need a microphone, and just want to have some fun and have a good time, and you're in. So let me know or email me at heather@vegas-aces.com. I'm going to try to get about 3-4 people. We'll see how many people I could get. But it should be pretty fun. So I hope to see you guys there. Okay, let's see what else we are saying in here. I have to catch up on a couple of you guys because I think I missed a few of you. Okay, there we were. So I was right there. Ah, very good. Okay, yes, that's a great question. Okay, and it doesn't have to do with a single deck, which is even better. So Mill says, any tips for a sticky shoe when dealing 6-deck blackjack? And yes, this does happen. Now, I want to explain to you why it happens and what's going on, so that way you guys can understand like what's happening. Now, sometimes when you're on the table and you're dealing, you get a sticky like shoe, and it's really annoying. It's super, super annoying because the cards aren't coming out the way you want. They're sort of like folded over. It's just not working the way you want it to work, and you don't know why. Here's the reason why. So how the shoe works primarily has to do with this thing right here. And this is a wedge, and the wedge is weighted, so it is a little heavy because it is weighted. And underneath the wedge are wheels. I don't know if you could see that, but they're wheels. So if the shoe hasn't been cleaned in a long time, you'll get dust and grime and all sorts of stuff in this wheel, and the wheel could start being sticky, and it doesn't move as much, and it doesn't roll down anymore. Because technically, when you have a wedge in there, it should roll down like so. That's a good wedge. When it rolls down, that's good. If it's sticky, if it has too much dust and grime and crap in the gears, and you put it in the shoe, it might just like stay right here, or it might slowly go down and not go down very like fast. And that's how you know that that's bad. Now, what this causes when the wedge is like this, let's say you have cards in your shoe, and your wedge isn't working, what will happen is your cards, let's see if I could do it with this wedge. Your cards will start looking like this, where they start like laying over or folding over. And when you have the cards out like this, it makes it very hard to take the card out of the shoe. Okay? Like you have trouble taking it out of the shoe. So what you do when that happens, if you're having a sticky wheel and you're having trouble taking the cards out of the shoe, and this shoe isn't a really good example because my wheel isn't very dusty, but what I want you to do is, instead of just trying to take the card out like so, I want you to push in and up. So push in and up and then take the card out. Push in and up and then take the card out. And that sort of makes it a little bit easier to take the cards out. Another thing you could do is physically move the wheel yourself, the wedge yourself. So if your wedge is all the way back there, it's not working, it's not coming down, just go ahead and give it a little bump it up, and you should have a lot easier time taking the cards out of the shoe. So if you try one of those two tricks, either physically using your hand to push the wedge down so that way your cards are in the position they should be. That's trick number 1. Trick number 2 would be pressing in and up and then take the card down. Trick number 2, and those 2 things make it a lot easier to deal with the sticky shoe. Okay, so let's see what else you guys are saying in here. Pip, come here. Pip wants to say hi. Oh, and she's looking at me like, why are there cards all over the place? Like, come on, Mom. What's going on? So let's see what you guys are saying. So in the UK, all the casinos and clubs are still closed. Do you know when they're planning on opening those? Just curious. And then LA was bracing for a hurricane that's supposed to make landfall on Friday as if things were bad enough. Ouch. Well, you know what they say, when it rains, it pours. And that's actually a really horrible, horrible metaphor to use right now with what you just told me. I just thought of it as soon as I said it. Not good to say. Okay, let's see what else you guys are saying. Rocky, oh my God, where are those cards landing? Who's gonna pick all those up? I am, after the live stream. And Pip's looking at me like, what the heck are you doing? You're making a mess. Dane, so that pitching method is a good way for dealing with disruptive players. Ha! Dane, yes, you have a disruptive player right there. Just flick them with the card. Just flick them. Just like that. No, don't do that. That's horrible advice. I am kidding. Do not take me seriously. I am totally joking. That's horrible advice. Do not throw the cards at the player. You will get fired. Just to let you know. Although Pip looked like she wanted to do something with the cards. What? Go get the card. No? Okay. She's like, why are you smacking me with cards? I didn't do anything to you. Liberty for You asks, what's the unemployment situation right now for dealers? It's not very good. So here's what happened. When the casinos closed March 17th, they laid off everyone. So all the dealers, everyone was fired. And they were fired for a while. Most casinos, not all the casinos. The Venetian was cool. They kept paying them. But anyway, so the dealers are fired, and now you would think that the casinos are opening up, that they're going to hire everyone back. Well, they're not. They're only hiring half of their workforce back, so the other half is still unemployed. One of my friends, she thought she was going to go back to work, and it turns out, don't do that. It turns out that she's not going back to work. They don't need her. The reason why is because they only have every other table open. They don't need those dealers because every other table is open. So they're only hiring back at half capacity because they're only open half capacity. So that's the employment situation right now in Las Vegas. People are still unemployed. We still have a really high unemployment number. We'll see what happens. Okay, Pip. Pip had enough for that. Sorry. Okay, so let's see what else you guys are saying in here. Cool, I've been trying to push it out too much and down, bending my thumb too much. Okay, cool. Yeah, push the card up and out, and that should help. And it's just a really slight movement, so that's all you really need. Let me know, Joey, if that helps. And if not, we'll try again. So don't worry. Hey, Nashvillean, good to see you. Sweet. Oh, hey, cool, domestic, $5 super chat, treat for Pips. Thank you. Pip, come back. Pip, come back. You want a treat? Oh, yeah, you really want a treat. Okay. She got here fast. So we got a $5 super chat, so we're going to give her 5 treats right here. Thank you very much. And Pip thanks you too. Oh, there you go. Look, there you go. Thank you very much for that. So let's see what else you guys are saying. Yeah, the bearings inside the wheels. Exactly, Nashville. I didn't use the correct terminology, but you are absolutely right about that. Dane says the sticky wheels get the grease. Unfortunately, in casinos, they don't normally get cleaned. Now they might, because they're cleaning the casinos like crazy now, so maybe they'll be cleaned. But normally they don't get cleaned. Normally, before this whole thing happened, they wouldn't clean the chips, they wouldn't clean the shoe, they wouldn't clean the tables, they wouldn't clean anything ever. Which is why you should always wash your hands when you're in a casino, which is really good information now. Okay, so let's see what else you guys are saying. A clean wedge is a happy wedge. I love that. Dane, what are you talking about? Either headphones or earbuds. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Dane. So Domestic says, in your pitching, how are you using your right hand? Your thumb is on top, but how many fingers are touching the bottom side? And is there a specific technique to direct the card's path? Yes, good question. Let's see if I have another single deck. I have a double deck, that works. And I am totally gonna have fun picking up cards. Okay, so let's say, for example, okay, so you wanna know how the other hand is. Well, the first thing I need to do is get rid of a little pip because she's sort of blocking the view. We don't need this anymore. You guys know about my dice. Dice! So, let's move Pip over here. Come here. Ah! No, sit down. Sit, you stubborn little thing. Oh my God. Okay. So when we're pitching, and again, I'm holding this out so you can see it in the camera. So holding the deck just like so. You're using your thumb to push out just the corner of the deck. Your right hand, you're going to take the corner of the deck and you're going to put it right here where this crease is in your finger. That crease right here, that's where you're going to put the corner of the card. That's all you need is the corner of the card. Your thumb comes down and you're holding the card just like so. So none of my fingers are touching anything except the forefinger and the thumb. Only the forefinger and the thumb are actually touching anything. None of my fingers are actually touching anything. So I'm holding the card like so. And what I do is using the middle finger, I flick the card. And I'm flicking the card, and that's how you pitch. So I'm taking it and I'm flicking it. And all I'm using is my middle finger. This part right here is the only part of my finger that I'm touching this card with, and I'm flicking it. Now, if you want to know the feeling of pitching where you're flicking it, take your middle finger and your thumb, put it together and flick. And that's what it should feel like. That's what pitching should feel like. It should feel like that. So, just a second. Come here, baby. Thank you again for the super chat. So what you're doing is you're holding the deck, you're pushing one card out, you're holding just the corner of this card, and you're using your middle finger to flick. I was trying to show it in that position so you can actually see it. So here, none of the fingers are touching, and then I'm just using my middle finger to flick. That's all I'm doing. So it looks like that. Doesn't look like that. It looks like this. So all I'm doing is I'm touching the corner with my forefinger and my thumb, and I'm flicking with my middle finger. And that's all I'm doing. And my pinky and my ring finger, they're sort of staying inside, sort of tucked in. So that way all I'm doing is using these three fingers right here. And that's how you pitch. Not always that great, but you know. I really should just sit here and practice. I haven't practiced in a while. Now, you were asking about the direction. Yes, there is a way to direct it. There's also different ways to pitch. That's pretty interesting. So, first, how to direct it. When you have it in your hand and you're flicking it, you're flicking it to the position that you want to go. It's just, have you guys ever played softball or baseball where you're throwing a ball, or maybe football where you're throwing a ball? And one of the techniques that they say, and don't use this when you're pitching, I'm just using it as an example. One of the techniques they say is when you're throwing it, how you aim is you look at where you want it to go, and then you point to where you want it to go. So when you're throwing the ball, you point and you're looking at it. It's kind of the same with pitching. So I want it to go right here. I'm looking at it, and when I flick it there. Don't always hit it, but that's where I'm flicking. And that's part of practice. That's part of being at home and practicing at home and doing this for hours at a time. Is you're sitting there with something, with the target, and you're just sitting there trying to pitch to the target. And all you're doing is just trying to hit that target. That's all you're doing, is just trying to hit that target. And you could sit at home and practice for hours and hours and hours, and you're just sitting there trying to hit the target. And the more practice you have, the better you'll be, to the point where you'll be able to hit, let's say, every target as you go through the game. Now, there are different ways to pitch. I don't know all of the ways, but I will tell you all of the ways that I do know. So, the blackjack pitch is really straight and fast and sort of tough and hard and all that stuff. I'll give you an example. So this is sort of the blackjack pitch, where it's just really fast and hard and tough, and you're just flicking the cards. Okay, so that would be like the blackjack way of pitching. I hope you guys could see it okay on this camera. Now, if you were at poker, and if you're dealing on poker, oh my God, you will never pitch that way. You will get so much crap for pitching that way. Players will have a problem with it. Your supervisor will have a problem with it. Everybody will have a problem with it. Like, you do not pitch that way when you are on poker. That's a blackjack pitch. That is not a poker pitch. Now, I just have to give this disclaimer real quick before I show you. I was horrible at doing a poker pitch. I was a poker dealer. I dealt poker at the Sahara. I didn't like it, and I wasn't really that good at it. And I wasn't good at doing the poker pitch. I would always do the blackjack pitch, and I would get everyone really, really mad at me. Now, when you do a poker pitch, you hold it and you sort of fling it. And it's really soft, and it's really easy, and I'm totally messing it up because you're not supposed to see any part of the card. It's not supposed to flip or do anything like that. You're supposed to keep it really low to the table, and it's just a really easy, really light pitch. And that way, the cards don't flip up, because when the cards flip up, everyone is mad at you. I know, it happened to me plenty of times. Now, there's also this kind of pitch too, and this is sort of the helicopter pitch. This is the way you pitch after a long time, and you sort of like know, you sort of get into the groove of it. When you do the helicopter pitch, and it, like I said, it's been a while for me, so give me a minute to try to like get this down. But it's going to be like a helicopter. It's going to sort of float. It's going to be like a butterfly. It's really, I used to love doing this. It's usually, it's a fun pitch to do. Again, give me a second. Let me see if I could do this. Okay, so it's like, there we go. We got it. There we go. Okay, so it's like that. And you're flipping it, and it's like this nice little... And how I do it is I pull my hand back and I flip it up like so. And you could do it high, you could do it low. High is fun. Woo! Like that. And that's another way to pitch. But that's more of like a fun style to pitch, because as you could see like the bottom card, and that's not good for game protection. So that's why it's not necessarily that great to do the like helicopter pitch, but it's a fun pitch to do. So I hope I answered your question. Alfredo, hey Alfredo, good to see you. If I missed your question, let me know. Just write it again, because yeah, sometimes I don't get to all of your questions. So let's see what else you guys are saying. real quick. You're contaminating my floor. Pip does not refuse treats. Normally she doesn't. Sometimes she could be a little bit picky. It depends. It depends on her mood. So Mills is asking, did they eliminate the stick person and go to the inside stick for craps? What did you hear? So what I heard is you still have 3 craps dealers on the table. You still have your stickman. You still have your baseman. There's no real reason to take the stickman out. You're still going to have 3 players on one side of the craps table and 3 players on the other side of the craps table, but they're going to be divided with standing dividers. And again, it depends on the casino. Every casino is different. But that's what I heard for the craps game. And again, every casino is different. So maybe there are some casinos that maybe they did take the craps, the stick person out. I haven't heard of anything like that happening. So I don't think they're going to do it for the most part. Okay. Gotcha, Dane. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully this is okay. I'm not wearing headphones and music's happening. I hope you guys are cool with that. I don't think I'm understanding your whole conversation in the chat, but I'm trying. And you guys are having a nice conversation in the chat about it too. Joey, I think that's what the UK government is doing with the phase opening of businesses and casinos and clubs. The casinos and clubs will be the last thing to open, hoping to be back and working by August, but have no idea. Yeah, we opened up really early. So we'll see what happens. I think America opened up so early because of the financial strain people were going through. I think that's the reason why they opened up so early. I don't know. That's just my opinion. And opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. Okay, so let's see what else is next. And I hope you don't mind if I'm not responding to your whole conversation about headsets and USBs and mics and headphones. Spaced On! Hey Spaced On! Good to see you. How are you? Let me know if you have any questions. I am here for you. If you have any trouble with shuffling, pitching, cutting checks, dealing, or playing table games, or if you have any questions about the table games, let me know. Now is the perfect time to ask. I am here to answer your questions, so please feel free to ask them. Or you can have a conversation in the chat about USBs and mics and headphones. Ever find out why blackjack dealers get a single card in Canada as opposed to 2 in US? So I think what you're talking about, Dane, is when you're on a single or double deck, the dealer, they'll get 1 card face up, 1 card face down. That's 2 cards. In the UK, what happens is the dealer will get 1 card face up, but no cards face down. All of the players will go through their hands, hit, stay, split, double down, blah, 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 blah. And then when the dealer gets to their hand, then they deal themselves the 2nd card. And I think Canada does the same thing. It's a European way of dealing the game. It's also good for game protection because then if you don't have to worry about a whole card, you don't have to worry about protecting the whole card. Whole card comes out at the very end. It's not good for players, this style of game, and the reason why is because the blackjacks. So, for example, let's say if the dealer has a 10 and everyone is playing and you have a split, you have a double down, another split, double down, this guy, you know, has a 21, you know, 7 card 21 or whatever, and the dealer, after all of that, flips over an ace and has blackjack and then takes the double down and the splits and all that. So it's not a good house edge for the player. It's not good for the players. Whereas in America, if I have a blackjack, I flip it over right away. You see it right away, and I take your original bet. I don't take your splits. I don't take your doubles. I don't take anything like that. So I hope that answers your question. Let's see what else you guys are saying in here. Hey Rice Perfect, how are you? Long time no see. I hope you're doing good. Casinos have a high volume of immune deficient customers. It's going to be a minute. I wonder if they have like a separate area for that. Okay, Lovro? Maybe it's Lovro. Cool, but either way, what kind of chips do you use right now, and would you recommend them for a home party? Yes, so the chips I use, I don't know if you could see it, it has that little design right there, and they're really nice. They're clay composite chips. They feel really good in the hand, because here's the thing. So when I first started Vegas Aces, I wanted to get casino-like chips, because as a dealer, you're used to using weighted chips that feel a certain way and are a certain like height and width and length and all this stuff. So that way you could, you know, cut the checks and do everything that you're used to doing. Well, I got these poker chips that were thin and they were really light, and I really did not like how they felt in my hand. So I went on a search for good chips, and I found these chips and I really like them. They're a good weight, they feel right, like the weight, the heaviness of it feels right, and it's a nice like width and length and all that, so it matches the style of the chips in the casino, and it makes it just a lot easier to use. If you want to buy these chips, I have a link to it in the description. It should be there right now as we speak, so if you go and you click the description right now as I'm speaking, go to the Amazon one where I talk about supplies. I have these cards and these chips, a link to these cards and these chips in the description, where you could go to Amazon and you could buy them for pretty cheap. I think you could get like 2 decks for $10. I'm going off the top of my head. And I think you could get like a stack of 20 or 25 for like $5 or $10 or something. It was pretty cheap. So if you want to buy it, if you want what I'm using, go ahead and click in the description below. Click the link. It'll take you to Amazon and you could buy it for yourself. I hope that helps. Mr. Chad, we don't have the dividers. They ask spectators to back away from the craps table. Wow, you don't have dividers. Yeah, same thing. You're not supposed to be 6 feet away from, or you are supposed to be 6 feet away from people. So if you're on a blackjack table and you have a player playing here and someone comes up to look at the game, the dealer should say, "Sir, I'm sorry, can you please stay 6 feet away from this player?" So they have to stay a certain distance away from the tables. Hey Space Dawn! I know I said hi, but you're saying hi back, so now I'm saying hi to you. Okay, I hope I didn't confuse you too much. Hey Larry, how are you? So Mills says, how important is it to be able to handle checks with both hands? It's pretty important. So as a dealer, you want to be ambidextrous. Ambidextrous meaning you can use both hands. On a blackjack table, the reason why it's good is because you always want to stay square to your game. It's part of game security, table protection. You never want to turn your back on the bank at all. Now, let's say I had a player over here and I was paying him. If I'm right-handed and I always use my right hand and I need to pay this player on first base, watch what happens. I go to pay the player and my hand is stretched out, which means my back is now away from the chips. I can't see the chips. I don't know what's going on with the chips. This is really bad table security, game protection, really horrible. And that's why you'll have some casinos tell dealers, when you're paying bets, when it's this side of the table, pay with your right hand. When it's this side of the table, pay with your left hand. So that way, if I come in here and I'm paying with my left hand, my body is still square to the game. I'm still open and my back is not turned to the chips. I must always protect the chips. The chips are my responsibility. I always have to protect the chips. So that's why you sort of want to be ambidextrous on a blackjack table, so you could pay and take with both hands, like so. I'm not that great. I tried to learn how to do it. So I became a craps dealer, and that's one of the things you have to be on a craps team. You have to be ambidextrous, because you're on, you know, first base, you're on second base. You have to use like different dominating hands depending on what base you're at. So one of the things they tell you is you got to be ambidextrous. So literally, I would go home and I would like tie up my hand, or I would like put my hand in a sling or do something where I'm not touching anything, and I would use my left hand for everything. I would use my left hand to eat, which, you know, caused me to stick my face with a fork because I'm not left-handed, but I would try to eat with my left hand. I would try to, you know, write with my left hand, which is god awful. Like everything I did, I would try to do with my left hand. And I did that for a long time, like weeks and weeks and weeks. And it got to the point where I could actually say, cut the checks with my left hand. Before, I was never able to do that. I am not left-handed. My left hand is so weak. So just being able to cut the checks with my left hand, not even that good as you could see, was like a huge accomplishment for me. And that is something you got to do. You do have to be ambidextrous. So I hope that answers your question. Let me know if you want me to go into it a little bit more, or if you have any other questions. Let's see what else you guys are saying. We're doing good on time. We have about 15 more minutes. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. We are not doing a Wizard of Oz live stream today, just so you guys know. So there will be no Wizard of Oz live stream today at 3 p.m. We are going to be recording one tomorrow where he talks about the casinos opening. So when he posts that, check it out. It'll be really interesting. But as far as today, there's no live stream on the Wizard of Oz after this. So you guys got about 15 more minutes left. So let me know if you have any questions, or if you want me to talk about how to shuffle, how to deal, how to play, anything you want to know, I am here for you. So let's see what you guys are saying real quick. Hey Jose, how are you? Good to see you. Jose's new. I love it when new people come to the live stream. Good to see you. Seaman, awesome. I like your name too, that's funny. Good to see ya. Is card counting working? Yes. So if you are a professional card counter, if you are a professional gambler, that is exactly what you're doing. You are working. That is a job. You have responsibilities. You have responsibilities to other people, especially if you're working in a team. It's hard. People are relying on you, and sometimes no matter how good you are, the cards just don't go your way, and you end up losing a lot of money, which can be extremely stressful, especially if you have bills to pay or if you need to eat food. So yes, card counting is work, and it is extremely stressful. And same thing, gambling, people who do that professionally, it is work. It takes a lot of work to do that, and a lot of strong, you need, what is that? You need a gut of steel, is that right? Or a spine of steel? Maybe it's a spine of steel. I know it's a body part of steel. Joey, question, drop cutting. Why don't they do that when paying on blackjack? So typically drop cutting is only used on roulette and craps. When I'm talking about drop cutting, I'll have a handful of chips. I'll pick out how many chips I want to pay the player. So right here I have 4 chips that I want to pay the player, and I'll drop it. Ooh, that wasn't good. But I'll drop it, and that's like drop cutting. Let me see if I could do that better. So this is drop cutting right here. And you'll do that on roulette, you'll do that on craps, just like that. And that's used often on those games. Now, the reason why they don't want you to use it on blackjack or carnival games or anything like that is because it's extremely easy to cheat. It's really easy to get the wrong payoff. When you're drop cutting, You're just picking out the chips with your finger and you're dropping it. You're not sizing into it. When you're sizing into it, you're proving to the camera that this matches this. But when you're drop cutting, the camera doesn't see you sizing into it, so they don't know that this stack matches this stack. And it's very sloppy dealing, and that's why. So when you're on blackjack, when you're on like a carnival game, you're always going to cut into the bet. But if you're on craps or if you're on roulette, where it's important, an important skill to have, then you'll drop cut. And again, it depends on the casino. Every casino is different. Some casinos don't want you to drop cut at all, not even on roulette or craps. So really know your casino and know what they want. Sweet. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Thank you, Joey. Really do appreciate that super chat. Now, we are doing super chat perks right here. And I have done a couple 5s, and Joey, you have a 10. So I owe you guys a few stories. Let me know what stories you want to hear. If you earlier, say, tipped one of the $5 ones, thank you. Let me know if you want me to tell you a story. Joey, let me know if you want me to tell you 2 stories. I don't think I have a $10 super chat. Just 1 second. Yeah, I don't have a $10 super chat. I have to remind myself my super chats. Okay, so thank you again very much. Really do appreciate that. Let's see what else you guys are saying in here. DJ Red Light Tamale. Hi, Heather. Hi. I was wondering if you had any sci-fi games like 3D chess or C-book cards from Star Wars. P.S. We love you just the way the show sounds. You're so sweet. I thank you. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. I don't have any 3D chess or anything from Star Trek. I don't have any C-book cards from Star Wars. I'm not really a Star Wars person, sorry. What do I have? Let's see. I have a Tribble. I have a phaser. I have lots of phasers, actually. I have a comm badge. I have a couple badges. I don't have games. I need games. I have board games, just nothing sci-fi related. I think the only thing that's like a sort of theme is I have a Street Fighter Monopoly, but that's just because I really like Street Fighter. So yeah, thank you for asking that question. That was a fun question. You guys are funny. Oh, cool. Joey says, I recommend the link for supplies. Thank you very much. And have bought several things there. Unfortunately, it's a $50 delivery to the UK, but that was for my Pai Gow tiles. By the way, did you get your Pai Gow tiles? What do you think of them? Do you like them? Just curious. Okay, cool. Glad we answered that, Mills. Sweet. Well, Jose, your English is perfect. You sound great. And you work as a pit boss at the casino in Colombia. Cool beans. How do you like it? How long have you been doing it? Also, too, I hope everything's okay with COVID. I wonder if the casinos are open where you're at. They just opened the casinos today here in Las Vegas. Seaman, should you always tip your dealers? Yes. Tip your dealer now with Super Chat. Wait a minute. I got something for this. Tip your dealer now with Super Chat. I have a little thing right here that I could put like on the table, and it's an actual tote box. I collect stuff. That's what I collect. I collect casino supplies. What is the date today? Is this even live? What is the date? Today is June 4th, 2020. June 4th, 2020 at 1:55 p.m. So yeah, if you have any questions, you got like 5 more minutes. Let me know. Ask me a question. Yes, this is live. Yes, I'm here for you. Let me know if you have any questions about shuffling, pitching, cutting checks, anything that has to do with dealing or playing casino table games. How is your head and the Tribble? Tribble's doing good. I wonder if I have... Nope, I don't have the Tribble around here. I was going to grab the Tribble. The basics. Hi! Always good to see new people. What games are most taxing to deal? Craps. Oh my god, yes. I would imagine craps on a Saturday night is pretty hard. Do dealers for those games get paid more or have shorter shifts to compensate for the difficulty? Unfortunately, no. So yes, you're absolutely right. Craps is the hardest game to deal, hardest game to learn. If you're learning craps, expect it to take a minimum of 2 years where you're dealing the game 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 2 years before you're decent. That's how hard craps is. That's how complicated it is. There's so much to know and so much to learn. And it's not just the math, because you have to think about the odds, the different odds, you have to think about the payouts, and then you have to think about the presses. And okay, you want to press double, you want to press triple, got to take the cap, do this, you got to do this movement, you got to know what you're doing, you have to practice, because you're actually sitting at home practicing these moves, the pressing and everything, so you know what you're doing when you're on the table. It's extremely difficult. Let's see, they don't get paid anymore. They get paid exactly the same as a blackjack dealer does. But I'll tell you like something in just a second. So in the casino is split into 2 areas. You have your table games area and you have your poker area. The poker dealers keep their tips and they have a separate department and they're separate from the casino. The casino dealers are the craps dealers, the roulette dealers, the blackjack dealers, mini baccarat, pai gow. They're all those dealers. And all of those dealers get paid the same. So the tips are collected in a 24-hour period and then they're split evenly amongst all the dealers who worked that 24-hour period. So a craps dealer would get paid exactly the same as a blackjack dealer. Well, you might think, well, why go through all the trouble? Why go through all the effort? Well, the thing is if you were a craps dealer, especially if you were a craps dealer that also knows blackjack, roulette, mini baccarat, if you could deal everything, you are so valuable as a dealer. You are so extremely valuable as a dealer. Those skills will mean that you could go to a casino like the Wynn or the Bellagio or the Cosmopolitan, and you can easily get a job in any of those casinos and make $100,000 a year. That's when it's worth it. That's why you want to know. But before you could do that, you actually have to go through the tough and grind and all of the hard work of knowing the game, learning the game, dealing the game. And like I said, you have to be on that game 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 2 years before you're just decent. And if you go to the Bellagio, you want to be at least a good craps dealer. So I hope that answers your question. Let me know if you want me to expand on that anymore, or if you have any other questions related to that. Let's see what else you guys are saying in here. It looks like we're getting down to the end. Philip, I am so ready for Monday. Philip, by the way, did you send me an email? I can't remember. Send me an email if you haven't sent me an email. I get a lot of emails. I have a lot of stuff on the brain. If you already sent it to me, don't freak out. If you haven't, send it to me. Oh no, Joey, my tiles came and I'm a little disappointed. They're the wrong size, 18 but not 20, but I finally got some and it made it much easier to understand what you're doing. Oh, I'm sorry that they were the wrong size. I hope that wasn't the link that you got for me. Please let me know if it was so I could change the link. Oh. I could do everything but poker and craps. Cool. Awesome, cool. The basics, I'm glad that was a good answer. Very cool. Now, it is 1:59. We are almost done with this live stream. If you have a question, speak now or forever hold your peace. Again, Monday is my next live stream. We changed our times. So we are always going to be 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are not doing the late nights anymore because I didn't realize it, but not good for people. So next Monday, 1 p.m., we're doing Jeopardy. By the way, does anybody here want to be a part of it? Do you want to be a contestant on the next Jeopardy game? Let me know now. I'm going to pick someone from the chat. If you want to be a part of it, write it in the chat right now. Like right now. Domestic. Forever? What do you mean forever? Domestic. Let me know what you mean by forever. I don't understand. James, are dealers prohibited to play in the casino? Great question. Yes. If you are a dealer in a casino, you are not allowed to play in that casino. Again, every casino is different, so it really depends on where you're at and what casino you're in. I used to work at one casino where the dealers were allowed to play on the slot machines, but they weren't allowed to play on the table games. I worked at another casino where the dealers were not allowed to play the slot machines. They weren't allowed to play the casino games. In fact, they weren't even allowed to be on the casino floor if they weren't working. So it really just depends on where you're working and what their rules are. Oh, okay, so it says 20, they just sent you the wrong one. Oh, good. I almost had a heart attack when you told me that. I'm like, no, am I sending you the wrong link? Okay, I'm glad it was their fault. It makes me feel better. Forever hold your peace. Yeah, exactly. Forever hold your peace. Oh, good. Brayden, that's good to know. Awesome. Well, you guys have been fantastic. Just a quick reminder, Vegas Aces is supported by viewers like you. Donations make it possible to bring you these videos for free. If you feel this video was worth more than $0, please click the link in the description below and donate the amount you feel it's worth. Yeah, by clicking the link in the description below. Ah! I hope you guys had a great time. It was fun answering your questions. If you're watching the replay, feel free to put your comment or your question in the chat, in the comments, and I'll get to it later. Thank you guys so much. It was great seeing you, and I hope to see you again on Monday. Have a good weekend, and take care. Stay safe, please. Bye.